Welcome, everybody. This is the Rehab Roundup. I'm your host, Dr. Hassan, board certified physiatrist and independent practice owner. So we are coming live from the Phoenix metro area. We always start with a little bit of small talk. We always talk about the weather. I talk about the weather. So today, it was actually raining. So it rained early in the morning, which cooled things off. And the temperature right now, I think, is 100 degrees. So it actually felt great when I stepped out the car and headed to work today. So it's a good day. Good day today. Some positive things happening. Today we're going to talk about the entrepreneurial mindset. So we always like to wait for folks to jump on, and then we kind of go into the topic. Takes about anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. So Dr. Charlotte, thank you for hopping on. Dr. Charlotte just had her wonderful telesummit, which was amazing. Gave some terrific information about billing and coding, so please check her out. She has multiple books, so check her book out, check her program out. Just check her out on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Very helpful information. And anyone who has an entrepreneurial mindset needs to know the information that she's providing, so please check her out. Waiting for some other folks to jump on. We talked about the weather. I think tomorrow I'm going to try and get back on and kind of do the consult corner, where we talk about rehab patients and just kind of that process of evaluating and figuring out what's the best level of care for those patients. So let's see. What else happened today? Can't really think of a whole lot else. Saw my patients, which is always a good thing. Well, actually, no, I had a good meeting today. I had a meeting with someone. Dr. Ken, thank you for checking in. I appreciate it. I had a good meeting with an individual who I've worked with since I got here in the Valley. And I'm really excited about some of the things that we're going to be able to do together in terms of when patients leave the hospital, getting them set up with different services. So we have some really cool things that we're going to be putting out there pretty soon. So we just really sat down and kind of talked about the vision and the pieces that we need to put in place. Dr. Dietrich, thank you for tuning in to be successful at what we're going to do for the more mature patient population that we care for here in the Valley. So we got some folks jumping on. I think we'll get started. We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Rehab Roundup. I am your host, Dr. Hassan, board certified physiatrist and independent practice owner. I help physiatrists start and grow their own independent practice so that they can achieve financial independence and live without limits. Today's topic: do you have an entrepreneurial mindset, right? What is that? So it's a way of thinking, a way of moving. And it's really your approach to things like setbacks, wins, mistakes, and challenges. So to really handle these things, be successful, move in your purpose, you have to have a certain way of thinking, moving, and acting to really kind of be at that high level and achieve really lofty goals. And part of that is having an entrepreneurial mindset. So with that mindset, you see certain traits that individuals have as well. So those traits are curiosity, right? You want someone who's always thinking and curious about next steps. How do we get here? How do you do that? So forth and so on. Because with that curiosity, it generates more questions, and questions that can be answered, and subsequently solutions. And that's going to be the big thing, is coming up with solutions for problems. Also, you want to have someone who's good at creative thinking, someone who's able to think outside of the box, because with that, once you identify that problem, you want to be able to think creatively to come up with that solution for that problem. And that solution can be your product or your service that you put out there to serve the masses. You want someone who's optimistic, because being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs, so you need to have an optimistic personality or mindset to kind of help you get through those lows and continue to see the highs or the ultimate goal. So that's going to be an important trait, is optimism. Also, you want to be a risk taker. Now, with being a risk taker, you want to take calculated risks, and you also want to try to, as much as possible, mitigate risk, so that whatever risk you take, you always put yourself in a position to be successful, right? So we talked about what the entrepreneurial mindset is, how it helps you approach setbacks, wins, challenges, and mistakes, some of the traits that you need to have. Now, let's talk about how to get on that path to entrepreneurial success. First things first, you want to get clear. Like, what is it that you're trying to do? What do you want to achieve? You have to be very clear and intentional in what your purpose is, what your goal is, and what you're trying to achieve. So that's going to be your first step. Ways you can do that is writing down your goals. It's always a good thing to write them down, so that now they become tangible. And once you've written them down, what you want to do is you want to break them down even further. So you want to take this goal that you've written down and really break it down into multiple steps to provide you with even more clarity. Some tips you can use in doing this, or things to simplify it, is really by using the SMART philosophy, where you want your goals to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. You always want to have some type of time component, because that's going to create the sense of urgency to help you move and keep you moving. You don't want to get stagnant. So you always want to have some type of timeliness to that goal, so that you continue to push forward and move forward. So now, once you've gotten clear, written down your goals, broken them down, then you want to create an action plan. So what this action plan is are small, manageable steps that you take to achieve this goal. So it's your instructions. So you write down your instructions that help you achieve this goal. Once you have these goals written down, the next thing you want to do is take action, right? You want to speak it out loud. Tell it to the world. Speak it to the masses. Say, I will dominate the rehab world. My goal is rehab domination, right? So I'm speaking it out into the world, and now that is me taking my action. Now, as you take action, sometimes your plate is going to get full. And when it gets full, you want to do this next. You want to delegate responsibility to free yourself up to continue to engage in high-level activities. Some of the things that may come to your plate may not necessarily be as beneficial from a time standpoint. So you want to be able to delegate that off to someone else, so that you can really focus in and spend that time on some of the higher level things in terms of achieving your goals. And lastly, what you want to do is let go. And what I mean by that is you got to let go or release some of that old stuff, right? Because before you develop this entrepreneurial mindset, started to write down and develop these goals, you probably had some old failures or old resentments or some baggage. You want to let go of that baggage, because letting go of that baggage frees you up to really achieve and obtain that high, lofty goal that you've kind of set for yourself. So these are some of the things that you want to think about in terms of, do I have an entrepreneurial mindset? What that is, what that means, what traits go along with having an entrepreneurial mindset, and really how to get on that path to becoming or obtaining or developing an entrepreneurial mindset. So that was a Rehab Roundup for today. We're going to be a little more focused on really the entrepreneurial mindset and all the different things that we can do to put ourselves in a really good position to be successful, because as physicians, we had a physician thing down, right? We're really good at that piece of it. It's the entrepreneurial or business aspect that we really got to work on, because that's not something that we're taught. We're taught how to be good doctors. Now we have to teach ourselves with the same passion how to be very good entrepreneurs or business individuals. So really, that's what we're going to focus on. So, every Tuesday we're going to come and really focus on that, talk about that. I'm going to try to provide you with a lot of value in terms of helping to get you on that path, stay on that path, and really be successful. So looking forward to talking to everyone next Tuesday. Like I said, going to try and do this a little earlier, like 4 p.m. my time, which is 7 Eastern, 6 Central. If you know any physiatrists, please share this with them. If you're catching it on the replay, #replay, I would appreciate that. I also dropped the link to my scheduling platform so we can get on a free 15-minute scheduling session to really talk about the business of rehab and how I can help guide you, because I'm the guide, help guide you to your practice, achieving your practice goals. So like I said, I'm also going to try and get back on tomorrow and do the consult corner, talk about rehab patients. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Everybody be safe, and see you next week.